Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Fabs in the house, and welcome back to the channel. I have a video. If you are just starting film photography, because I got some pointers, some tips that I want to share with you, because I almost quit film photography after my first roll. I mean, I got a couple good shots that really intrigued me, but I had also some blown highlights. I had some washed out shots. I had some radioactive color. I think I focused perfectly some dust in the air right in front of the subject. So it wasn't a perfect roll for sure. It wasn't beautiful work like portfolio worth, but I was hooked because I found something very romantic, very intriguing. So if you just got handed some cheap little Pentax K1000, Nikon the cheapest you have, what is FE10, the Canon, some Rebel T7, some, if you only have ever used the cheapest camera ever. If you skipped the optional photography class and now you're looking at this brick thinking, oh my god, what should I do with this thing? This video is for you. I was reading online about some people in this exact situation that prompted me to make this video. Because some people have a film camera, maybe they have the manual, maybe they found some tutorial online, maybe they are still lost because the plethora of information that is available online. People want to know which film to buy, which channel to watch, what camera to buy, which subject to practice on. They had heard scary stuff about camera faults. They had a local lab. They even said, they made just a new account just for that post, but could not even ask in some communities because of karma limits. So let us answer that properly. First thing, your first roll will be bad. Completely normal, expected, healthy even. On digital, you can fire, 5,000 shots in a day, stare at the back of the camera, fix things instantly. You can spend time, hours in front of the computer. Nobody wants to do that. You want to shoot film. On film, you shoot only 36 exposures. You send them to the lab, you wait, you forget what you did, and then you receive a mystery box of mistakes. So treat your first 5 rolls as paid lessons, not as a portfolio. You're not buying perfect photos, guys. You're buying information. The question is not, are these shots good? The question is, what did I learn here from these mistakes? Number 2, your Pentax K1000 or whatever cheap 35mm SLR you have, or even rangefinder, it's enough. Ignore the internet screaming about, this kind of things. You don't need a Leica. You don't need anything fancy if you're starting out. Forget about the titanium edition, the blessed by the ghost of Ansel Adam cameras. You just need 4 simple things in a camera. Number 1, a shutter that more or less works. And in this case, the shutter kind of works. I have from half of a second, I don't even have 1 second, and goes down to 500 of a second. And it's all right. It's gonna be fine. The shutter works, it's kind of accurate. That's the first thing you need. Number 2, you need a lens that focuses. And guess what? This lens can focus from, I would say, maybe 80 centimeters down to infinity. So that checks out. Number 3, you need a meter. That is kind of like in the ballpark. And in this case, I don't even have a meter that works very accurately. So I'm just deciding to use this little thing, which is a very cheap addition to any camera that doesn't even have a meter or has a non-working meter. So something like that is gonna help you immensely. Number 4. My suggestion is to get a camera that you do not hate carrying, a camera that you like the aesthetics, first of all, and the ergonomics, second of all, because it has to be something that you like to carry around, to look at it and say, you know what? I'm gonna carry this bad boy today out with me because we're gonna have some fun. And you have to like the camera that you're gonna take with you. So old cameras, of course, they can have faults. Electronic can fail, light seal can crumble, shutter can drift 100%. If your exposures are insanely off, even when you follow the basic settings, maybe you got an issue. Maybe you have to contact a technician and look at the camera when you can. But do not use fear of faults as an excuse to stay on the couch, staring at gear listings all night. Forget about that. That is very detrimental because you're not going to be out shooting. That's the main reason. Number 3, film. Here is where I was an idiot. I bought a different film every single time. Every roll, it looked different and I learned almost nothing. For example, here I got a bunch of rolls I want to show you just real quick. The options are endless. This is just a little options that, you know, Chrome 100. You have some black and white from Wolfen, if you ever heard of that. You have some black and white slides from ADOX that needs a special kit to develop. Look at this, turquoise from Lomochrome. This is a color negative 35mm, it's 100 ISO. Check this out, you do not need to buy ISO 0.8 in a black and white positive. You can buy Kentmer Pan 100 black and white film. You also can do another option, for example, 100 ISO Agfa Photo APX. Then there's this other black and white from Wolfen, 13 ISO. You don't need to go that route. Black color negative Ultramax, that's an easy one, but it's 400 ISO. It's an option. You have 500 ISO color from Wolfen. You have, look at this, some psychedelic street candy. This is what? 400 ISO also. Just don't have to go that route. Look at this. Color negative 1.6 ISO. Forget about that. Classic Ektachrome. It's too difficult. Don't start with this. Velvia 50, don't do this. It's the best film together with Provia ever made in slide. I mean, don't go this route. You're going to be disappointed. You know what? Get this. Get an Ilford HP 5 Plus 400 ISO black and white. They make this new. This expires, now. So I'm going to shoot it right now. And you can keep it in the fridge, but it doesn't really matter that much for the black and white. Maybe more matters for the slides, but forget about the slides at the beginning. Get some forgiving film. You don't have to buy this. I mean, Tri-X from Kodak 400 also works wonder. It gives you a little bit of slack. It's a forgiving film stock. You know, basic 400 classic black and white. If you like monochrome or color negative, it's gonna be great. What you have to do, buy 5 rolls of that same one. Shoot only that film for a while. Same camera, same lens, same film, same lab. Now, when the look changes, you know it's you. You know that you made a mistake. So take a note of the time, the speed, the shutter speed, aperture, and of course the ISO is gonna be the same. And think about what you might have done wrong, because the lab is going to be the same, film is going to be the same, lens and camera is going to be the same, so it must be you. So, number 4, metering, also known as how not to confuse the poor camera. Your meter only knows one trick, guys. It tries to turn whatever it sees into a medium gray. Like this one, like the meter that is inside this one. It's the same in meters for a medium gray, 18% gray. So it tries to turn whatever it sees into a medium gray. You point it at a bright snow, guess what? You're gonna get a sad, dull scene, and it will try to make it gray. You know, you point at a black jacket, guess what? It will try to brighten it. You will get a washed out mess. So for color negative film and also black and white, here's a simple beginner rule. Just give it a little more light than the meter asks for. If your film is like ISO 400, you can even set the camera to 200. Color negative film loves extra exposure and really hates being starved. Number 5, your lab. If you live in a city that has a store that processes film, that it's basically easy mode. You don't have to develop film by yourself. You can use that lab. When you drop off a roll, say you're new, ask for a regular resolution scans, nothing fancy. Ask if they can keep their scan setting consistent from roll to roll. When you pick things up and a roll looks dark or strange, politely ask why. 30 seconds of conversation with a human being, not with ChatGPT, who sees, a human that sees film all day. It's worth 10 forums, threads, believe me. Number 6, what do you actually shoot is, do not overthink locations. You do not need to go to Paris at sunrise. You don't need to go to the Okavanga and shoot like gazelles. Forget about that. A normal street is fine. Give each role a tiny assignment. Something like, this role I'm going to shoot only in soft shade and I'm going to focus on getting things sharp. Next role, I'm going to go out at golden hour and play with backlight and silhouettes. Next role, I'm gonna spend one afternoon telling the story of a friend's day in 36 frames. Suddenly, every frame has a purpose. Instead of, I pointed it at random things because I have film loaded. Don't do that. Here's the secret. Your camera does not care about like or karma or hearts or whatever, or followers or nothing. Nor the light in your city does care about that. The lab does not care about that. The only thing that matters is that you load a roll, that you press the shutter and then do it again and again and again. So, to recap, here's your very short roadmap. Load a simple film into that cheap Pentax K1000 or whatever you have. Number 2, stick to daylight. Number 3, give the film plenty of light. Number 4, treat the first few rolls as lessons. 5, talk to your lab. Number 6, give each roll one clear assignment. You already did the hardest part. You started. So now go out and make your first 36 mistakes. And I will see you out in the wild. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. Stay tuned.